Hello, in this lesson, I'm going to teach us how to autofill formulas vertically and horizontally. But to actually autofill vertically is not very difficult, it's very simple. But how do we autofill formulas horizontally to actually save time? That's our major emphasis for this particular lesson. Okay, before that, let's just actually build background and basics on what we want to do. We have a data set to the left here that contains a column for gender, ethnicity, annual salary, and country. Now, this is the requirement. We want to get a total sum of salaries representing the Asians, the sum of salary representing the Black, Caucasian, and Latino. To do this particular simple task, we just need the sum if function. So I'm going to do that now. Just press the sum if. So the sum if, then open the bracket. The range that is the first argument is the ethnicity. So I'll click on this particular Black, shift and control arrow down. I'm going to fix it F4. So F4 is just to fix the range such that when we drag the formula down, this range will not change. So I'll hit a comma. The next one is a criteria. I'm actually looking at this time for Asian. I'll click this. I won't fix that. Now hit a comma. The next one is a sum range, which is this particular money. Shift and control arrow down. Then you fix it as well. Then you close the bracket. Why are we fixing? We fix for the range because it's actually the same range for all these tasks we want to perform here. We fix the range and also fix for the annual salary is the same. That's what we're fixing. We're not fixing for the criteria because the criteria will be changing from Asia, Black, and all that. I trust you get this. I'll hit on enter. I'm getting the suitor value. So it means the sum of salaries for Asians are this value. So to get for others now, I'll just double click. Then with this, it has autofill the formula effect downward. Like I said, this is actually very simple. Many persons or many Excel users may not have issues with this. Now, but let's see this other part of the task. We want to get the total salaries for male coming from Asian, for female coming from Asian, and so on and so forth. So to do this, we're going to be doing it one by one to get the correct answer. That is, we have to do for the males and have to do for the females one after the other to get the correct answer, which can actually take a lot of time. But with what I want to teach you now, you can just do for one and you autofill to get for others. But let's just actually take the first three to see how tedious I would say it is to actually be doing one after the other. So if I want to get the sum of salaries representing the male from Asia, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the sum ifs function. So I'll say sum ifs. So when I say sum ifs, open the bracket. The first argument is the sum range, which is the money. I'll click on this, shift and control arrow down. I'll fix it. Then I'll hit the comma. The next one is the criteria one. So we have two conditions now, the ethnicity and the gender. So whichever one can actually be your criteria one. But in this case, I would like to keep my ethnicity as the criteria one. So it's telling us criteria range one. So that is the range for the criteria one. I'll click this one, shift and control arrow down. I will fix. Then hit a comma. The next one is criteria one. What is the criteria? Asia. I'm looking for Asia. I won't fix it because I'm autofilling vertically. I'll hit a comma. The next one is criteria range two, which is the gender. I'll click here, shift and control arrow down. I'll fix. I'll hit the comma. Criteria two is this particular one. I'll click on this. Then I can actually close the bracket. Then I'll hit on enter. So with this, it's giving me the total money for the males from Asia. So let's actually do for the males coming from Black. Now, but should you want to come to this portion to just autofill by double clicking, you'll be seeing a, an error value here, zero. It doesn't actually work or it's not working. Now, let me just briefly explain why it's not working. At this point, observe here, at this point is I2. When it comes here, it's now I3. It means it has changed from the criteria, which is male, to this value. And there is something like this value in this particular column. That is why it's zero. So to do that, we're going to repeat it again by coming to this place and pressing sum ifs, then open the bracket. The sum range is this, shift control arrow down, fix it, comma, criteria one. This time around, criteria one is our ethnicity. I'll click this, shift and control arrow down. I'll also fix. So criteria range, the criteria one is I'm doing for this time around, I'm doing for Black. I'll click here. So I'll hit camera. Criteria range two is the gender, which is this one. Shift and control arrow down, fix, comma. Then the criteria two is this particular male. close the bracket, I'll hit on enter. So with this, I'm getting this value. So let's do for male and for female to just see the answer we get. So I'll do sum ifs, open the brackets. Now sum range is this value. Click this, shift and control arrow down, I'll fix it, comma, criteria range one, this one, shift and control arrow down, I'll fix it, comma, criteria one. This time around I'm doing for Asia. Let me click on this, comma, criteria range two is the gender, shift this, shift and control arrow down, I fixed. Then the criteria two is the female, I'll click on this, then close the bracket, I'll hit on enter. So this is the value. Now imagine I have to be doing for all these other guys. That will be five more times. It's going to take us a lot of time, but with what we want to learn now, how we can actually do for one and we autofill it will give us for others. So let's start it here. So I can come to this place, this way I actually want to get the answer. I'll press equals to, I'll say sum if. The reason why I actually did this three is for us to compare the results with what we have here now when we did one after the other. So I'm going to press sum ifs, then open the bracket. The first one, I'm going to take it slowly so that you understand it. The sum range is the column for the figures, which is this. Shift and control arrow down, I will fix it. Why am I fixing? Because the range of the money is uniform for everybody. The next thing, I hit a comma. Criteria, I fix once. Take note of that, I fix once. Criteria range one. This is the criteria range one, this one. Shift and control arrow down, I'll also fix once, F4, I'll hit a comma. Now criteria one, this is the criteria one, this particular one, Asia. Now because I know I will be dragging the Asia, will be the criteria range one will be shifting from Asia to black, Caucasian, and Latino, which is vertically. I'm going to fix it two times. So I've clicked on Asia, I'm fixing, this is one and this is two. I've fixed twice. Take note, why twice? Because I know it's coming vertically. Then the next one I hit the comma. Then criteria range two. So the criteria range two is a gender. I'll click on this one, shift and control arrow down, I'll fix it, comma, criteria two, this is the gender I'm looking for now, male. I'll click on this. Now I know I want to also get for the female, which is going horizontally. I'm going to fix three times. So one, two, three. Observe here is actually changing. Then I close the bracket. Now let me explain. For vertically, you fix twice. When you want to drag the formula effect vertically, you fix twice. When you know you want to drag the formula effect horizontally, you fix three times. So I'll hit on enter. When I hit on enter, you observe the same value I have here is what I'm having here now. I can just come to this place, drag to the left, to the right. I have this value. Now I'm actually getting 0. Let's correct where the error is coming from. Okay, so now let's do it the fast way to see how we can actually autofill both horizontally and vertically. I'm going to take it slowly so that you actually get everything I want to teach, because this is actually the center of this lesson. So I'll hit equals to, I'll press sum ifs, then I'll come to this portion. The first argument is the sum range, which is the money. I'll click here, shift and control arrow down, I'll fix it once. Now I'll hit a comma. The next one is criteria range one. This is the ethnicity. I'll click on this, shift and control arrow down. I'll fix it once as well. I'll hit a comma. Then criteria one. These are the criteria one. They will be changing vertically. They'll be coming down from Asia, black, and this. So when I click on Asia the first time, look at it, G3. I'm going to fix it three times. Why three? Because it's coming vertically. So I'm fixing. This is the first one, the second one, and the third one. I fixed three, then three times. Now hit the comma. The next argument is criteria range two. This time around is the gender. I'll click on the gender, shift and control arrow down, I'll fix once, then I'll hit a comma. Criteria two is the gender here, which is actually the male. I'll click on male, but I know I want to drag the formula effect to the right, which is horizontally. I'll fix two times, one, two. When I know I want to drag the formula effect downward, I fix three times. I want to drag the formula effect to the right, I fix two times. So with this, I close the bracket, then I hit on enter. With this, we'll see, observe what we have here is the same thing here. So I can just come to this portion now. I drag the formula effect here. You observe we're having the same answer. Then when I drag the formula effect downward, you see, guys, okay, we shouldn't go beyond this. Let me just come up here. You observe the value we have here is the same thing here. So should we have done for the sum of salaries for the female coming from black, this is the value we should have gotten. So I trust you understand how to autofill formula effect to the right, that is horizontal, and also downward, which is vertical. Haven't done this, you can try this for yourself, and this is the end of this lesson. Thank you very much, and see you in the next class.